Here's Eli Lilly. It's a leading stock in a leading group. It runs up and it's basing in here. Here's another very important fact, not opinion. Simple flat bases are the best setup to make money. Why? Think about this. We want other people to see what we see. Doesn't that increase the potential that A, they see it, and B, they will buy also? And the answer is, of course, yes. We don't want to be the only people in the world that say, oh, this is a chart pattern nobody else knows about. Nobody's going to buy it because they don't see it. So here's Lilly. It lifts up and then it goes sideways here. It picks up on about average daily volume here, but then it follows through on this bar. Okay, so we'll say, well, let's assume you don't own it. We're looking forward now. Okay, we're watching it. Advance it 1 bar. It lifted up on good volume, but then it fell on fairly heavy volume, almost the same volume that it did when it was going up. It was met with selling. You can see it in the chart. All right, price and volume. Nothing fancy. We don't have to forecast. We simply get in line with it. And then it falls further, and it actually falls back into this previous space on fairly heavy volume. But note, it gapped down and it closed near the highs of the day on a pickup in volume. It's not a trigger to buy, okay? It's too loose here, but it's just something to bear watching. Advance it. Oh, it lifts up. Oh, look at this. It picks up and it pushes through the 8 EMA. That's the yellow moving average. What's the negative? It did it, but it did it on less volume than it fell on down here, okay? There's not that much power there. So we have to watch it. Volume equal power. Good to remember. So it picks up again, gaps up, and actually closes below where it opens. It's met with a little bit of selling pressure. Not a lot, a little. Now, this is another very important fact. Focus on simple bases that everybody can see. It increases the potential that A, they see it, and B, they'll buy too, right? And I say this constantly, and it does work. I taught this at the IBD meetups. Advance it. Just a quiet bar here, a green bar, but note, and this is very important, every price and volume bar talks. Some bars are more important than others, but note what this one does. It runs up and then fades and closes in the bottom third of its range. It's met with some selling pressure. There's not a lot of buying here. Advance it, and then it gaps down here, right? Gaps down and falls, but note where it closes. It closes above where it opens on a pickup in volume. Oh, that's good to see. Let's see what happens. Then the next bar, it drops down again. It's an inside bar. This bar is inside this bar. It's a little sloppy here. There's not a really clean entry anymore, a clean and simple flat base. Right here, it gaps down, falls, and actually closes up a little bit. So there's some support there, but there's also resistance overhead in here. Does it on a pickup in volume, but it's not the clean and simple pattern that we like. Oh, look, it starts to pick up here. And it does it on a pickup in volume. That's nice to see right here. Tops across here. Could be a potential buy. It's not a clean and simple flat base. There's some chop in here. Compare and contrast the travel range in here versus this. Now this bar, oh look, it breaks out. Oh, this is great. But study it closely. It gaps up, it runs up, and closes below where it opened. It was met with some selling. You can say, how can you say that, Pat? Because it gapped up and it closed below where it opened. There wasn't follow through. Things to be cautious with. And then, what's it do the next day? It gaps down, just like that. The chart was telling you here, there's not a lot of power, and it follows through. Chops around here, slight pickup in volume there, but it hasn't broken out yet. It's just going back and forth. And then you get this. Opens basically unchanged, and it drops on a pickup in volume. Look at the volume here versus this bar, okay? It's telling you. And what we do at Mission Winners is we combine price and volume action. And it's not calculus. It's not even algebra. It's pretty simple, okay? Get in line. Not a lot of power, and then look what it does. It follows through to the downside, telling us, be cautious. And that's where we're at as of today. When you see this is tight, this is loose, with not a lot of accumulation in here. You say, oh, that's accumulation. No, really not. It gapped up and it closed below where it opened. It was met with selling, as I stated. Just combine it together. Focus on simple bases that are easy to see. Why? It increases the potential that other people see it too, and they'll buy.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.